In 1957, the Soviet Union launched the first satellite into space. It created quite a hullabaloo here in the United States in science education because the Russians were ahead of us. And so MIT helped form the Physical Science Study Committee, PSSC, and they came up with a new physics curriculum. About 10 years later, Harvard, not to be outdone by MIT, came up with their own physics curriculum. It was called Harvard Project Physics. And one of the things they did differently was they decided that it was important to teach modern physics using modern electronics rather than relying on 1800s, 19th century apparatus. And so they came out with a set of modular electronics that could do a wide range of things. A very low voltage power supply, meters that would measure the voltages and current used in most high school experiments. But the most interesting thing was the modular portion of this. There were a variety of plug-in adapters that could be plugged into this amplifier power supply and make a variety of different instruments. Right now I have it set up to be an audio oscillator. With two loudspeakers, you can actually measure the interference of sound. This actually does not just do audio frequencies, but will do near ultrasonics, so you could use a couple of ultrasonic transducers to measure the interference of ultrasonic sound. There was a counter timer that could be plugged in. Right now I have this plugged in to a Geiger tube. As I move this source closer, you can hear it clicking more often. Each click is not one count. Each click is actually 100 counts. We have a units, we have the tens, and then the hundreds, thousands, etc. are in our actual counter here. But this was useful in another way. Remember, in the late 60s, this was before the computer revolution. And so they could use this counter timer with photocells, and it could be used to count to 1,000th of a second. Operated by the photocell or manually. Or you could operate it any other way that would start a switch when you wanted counting and start a switch when you didn't want to count. There were other companies that made similar apparatus, but it wasn't nearly as good, and most of it is gone now. But the Thornton Apparatus is still likely to be around. By the way, you could measure Planck's constant stuff. The Thornton Apparatus was quite rugged even with students, and many high schools may have some sitting in the back that you don't know what it is or how to work it. I do have the manual that went with the Thornton Apparatus. If you will contact me, Dr. Willis at UNC, I would be glad to send you a copy. Thank you very much.